everybody. Welcome to another edition of Getting to Know Grey 17. The moment has come. The big finale is here. Not really finale. I got more after this. But this is the one you've all been waiting for. With me today is the one, the only, Jessica. That's right. I said Jessica.
Oh,
That's
wow.
how it's going to go.
It's Jessi. That's fine.
So I am John. I'm one of the co-hosts of the Grey 17 podcast, but you already know that. Let's get to the main event. Jessi, introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Jessi.
Amazing. We're off to a blazing start.
I am one of the newbies on the show, also known as the person who hates sci-fi and is mad at the world. So that's me.
That's about right. All right, well, let's just jump right in then. So usually I start this with, how did you hear about the Grey 17 pod? And as you just said, as a self-identifying sci-fi hater, what made you decide to get involved?
So I've always wanted to do a podcast forever, and I didn't know what I wanted to do a podcast on, but it sounded cool. Sounded like a fun thing to do. Scott was, I've known Scott for years, and we'll get into that later because I think I've seen the question, but he was on Facebook. I think I've heard several other people say he put out a post about wanting to do a podcast about Babylon 5, and I had no idea what it was. So I messaged him and he said, meet me on Grey 17, and I Googled Grey 17 because I thought it might be like some new social media place or something. I don't know. And then I got yelled at because I Googled it.
Just can't follow directions. From the
That was
just can't follow
literally
directions.
the first direction. Don't Google.
Well, let's stay there then. So you said you hadn't heard of Babylon 5 before? You've never heard it before he mentioned it?
I don't know. I had never heard of it.
Not even like you thought he meant Battlestar Galactica?
I don't know what that is either. So.
I just wanted to say more sci-fi shows so that you could just be like, oh, I don't know what that is.
I'm the same person that called it Deep Space 5. So let's move on from this.
All right, well, then let's jump in. You already talked about Scott, knowing him for a long time. Walk us through how you know everybody on the show.
So I know Scott, Blake, you, Nicole, Kevin, Justin. I think that's it, right? I know them from Model Illinois government student organization that when we were on college years and way years ago, before any of us looked the way we do, we were in that organization together. We just kept contact. You and I went, to the same university. Scott did too. A couple other people. And then I just randomly ran into you one day on the street outside my work, and I was like, what is this guy doing, stalking me? I don't know what's happening, but turns out you allegedly worked outside my work, but that's still unconfirmed. But
you never saw it. You never followed up. You have no idea. To this
all
day,
I saw is you walking by several times throughout that time that you worked there, and I never saw a building. I guess I didn't watch you walk into anywhere. You probably just wanted to say hi.
I actually was going down. Can I tell you? You know that little coffee shop down there? I was going down there all the time. So at the end of, I forget what street that is now, but there was a little drive-through little coffee shop.
Red Band. Yes. Red Band.
Probably. They had
chorizo sandwiches.
Breakfast sandwich. Yes.
Yes.
That's why I still think about it. It's my favorite thing I've ever had.
Yeah. They have my husband will go when he goes to the Quad Cities. He specifically goes and gets a chorizo sandwich. And then sends me pictures. Their iced coffee is awesome too. So anyway, that's where I saw you. Also saw you at our university, saw Scott. I haven't seen Scott for years. And then I met Emily, Mike, and Andrew through the podcast.
All right. Well, let's jump into, so you mentioned your work. I don't know if you want to do you want to tell people now that you're an adult film star? Do you want them to Google that?
No, I'm a snake milker. So, I mean, all I do is just.
Is that what they're calling it?
I mean, their fangs and stuff. No, I would rather just not say what I do for work. And I'm not a stripper or any kind of sex worker, but
Allegedly. Okay, well, if you're not stripping,
Allegedly.
what do you do for hobbies?
When I have free time, I play video games. I I color. Would you like me to show some of my pictures?
That guy with such a straight face. Of course, I want to see your coloring. Of course, I have to see whether you're staying in the lines.
It's so not appropriate though, because as somebody has said previously in the podcast, when they the term Jessi's tiny dicks.
Yeah, maybe cover some of it. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I can't. It's literally just no. It's a coloring book full of appendages.
Yeah, and of course, you're not a sex worker, but you have a penis coloring book.
Emily sent it to me for Christmas. That's how I got it. So let's be very clear. I also have this one, things I want to say but can't. It's very appropriate, and I can't show you any of them. Oh, this one is semi.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I don't know, things that just take my mind off the general day. I do in video games. I played video games since Nintendo, since Mario 85.
Yeah, how old are you? Jesus. So when you're not doing arts and crafts, so what kind of video games do you usually like to play though? First person shooter?
I like first person shooters. I like Rainbow Six Siege is like my all-time favorite game of ever. It's a game that I go back to and go back to. Like I so many games and I play them for 5 seconds and I go back to Rainbow Siege. So I like Call of Duty. I like anything that really doesn't take a whole lot of brain capacity to play. I also play Animal Crossing on my Switch like all the time because it's just
using this board. Like, why are you not live streaming or twitching, or why are you not gaming on this channel?
I used to do that back in the day, but I would have like one viewer and it was just like I'm talking to myself. It was weird. And yeah, it was just.
I think we have a little bit of bigger reach now. I think if you'd like to have more viewers, and if you watching this would like to watch her play video games, leave some comments and some encouragements to let her know. We'll get that fired up.
I cuss a lot. If you want to watch me play video games, you have to be okay with the F word. You guys have all seen it on the podcast. This is not new. So, I mean, there's a lot of naughty words that come out of my mouth.
If people watch you color Bob Ross style, can you like put it up on a easel and then color and talk about your happy little penis here? And
happy little penis. Oh
yeah.
God, happy little penis.
We have so much content now. We're going to start a series, I think.
Ladies of Babylon 5, where all we do is color pictures of dicks. You're welcome.
Yes, killing. Okay, what is the dumbest way you've injured yourself?
There's so many.
Are you naturally a clumsy person?
I am absolutely naturally a clumsy person. I am 5 feet 10 inches tall, and I am uncoordinated as they come. I think that you said the dumbest way.
Yeah.
I broke my own nose.
However you want it. Okay, well, broke your nose. Go with it.
I broke my own nose on a trampoline. So you're all welcome. I smacked myself in the face with my knee. See,
now that's hilarious, but also a little understandable because I would tell you this. Trampolines are death traps. The fact
absolutely
is insanity. I had a friend, she had a birthday party at like one of the adult trampoline park area, you know, the big things you bounce around. I lasted maybe 5 minutes. I was like, first of all, this has made me just acknowledging I'm wildly out of shape apparently because I can't jump on a trampoline for more than 35 seconds without having a minor heart attack. And then secondly, this is the most dangerous thing I've ever been a part of. These kids are out here just flinging their bodies around with no regard for blowing out an ACL, snapping necks. Insanity. And I think about when I was a kid, I was the same way on trampoline. You're trying to bust backflips and double bounce you and you fly real high. And now
that's exactly what it was.
Yeah.
We were playing crack the egg where you like ball up and you put your arms around your legs and like other people try to jump and they crack the egg and I cracked myself in the face. So I've also stabbed myself. I don't know if you can see it. I'm again not going to go into detail about how it happened.
All right.
I was cutting something off of something and with the plier scissors that I was cutting off with, I stabbed myself and I saw blood and I almost passed out and I had to get 1 stitch. So
One stitch? Why did you even bother? Why don't you just put glue?
So that's what everybody said, but clearly it was to keep me from bleeding out. So
We almost lost you. For
you
one.
listen, I can't talk about the situation, but in the situation, I was like, everybody needs to sit down. Nobody needs to move. I'm going to die. And somebody called 911. We didn't, but then I went to the doctor.
Well, it's a good thing you're not dramatic because that would have been terrible.
I know, it would have been terrible.
All right, so we're doing an interview here, but what's one question that you wish people would ask you more often? If you don't have one at the ready, because I'm going to ask you the flip side, what's one question you wish people would ask you less?
So, okay, let's get deep. The one question that I wish people would stop asking is, when are you going to have kids? Right? And it's not there. Listen, nothing going on with me that like medically I couldn't have kids, nothing like that. We just didn't want kids. Right? So when you ask me that question, it's fine. Like, it doesn't really bother me. I'm not, right? My dogs are my kids, and that's, but like, if I had medical problems, if I, couldn't get pregnant, if I tried years and years and years and hundreds of thousands of dollars, medical procedures trying to get pregnant and couldn't, and somebody asking me, oh, when are you guys gonna have kids? That would bother me. So I think that that's one question that I wish people would ask less. I know that's a little serious for this like interview, but I mean, that's a legitimate answer.
Yeah, no, it's fine. Listen, it's not all ha-has here on Getting to Know Grave.
I wish you would ask me more if I was okay. That's what I wish, John.
Jessica, I have a question for you.
Do you want to talk about your feelings?
Are you okay?
Things are great.
It's funny you say that. Another one of our hosts had something very similar as her answer about what she wished people would ask more. And it was, how are you doing? People, are you okay? How are you? So I asked her the same question.
You know what's funny? Okay, so quickly, because I understand this is not a 2-hour show. But I had a college professor who was from one of the Asian countries. I don't want to say the wrong one because I don't remember. But he said that when people greet each other on the street, they ask, have you eaten today? Or what have you eaten today? And, me being the young, stupid college kids, I was like, that's stupid. Why would you ask what they ate? And he's like, why do you ask people how they are and not care? And I'm like, oh, you're right. Because I will walk by somebody in the street and be like, how are you? I don't care. I don't want to know that, your cat just died. I just want you to say fine and keep moving.
You probably just as you're walking by, hey, how are you? Good. Yeah.
Yeah. Now I say good morning instead of how are you? I ask people now, following that conversation with my professor, I genuinely, if I ask you how you are, I care. But now if I'm just going to do a quick greeting, it's like good morning or hello. It's not like, how are you? Because if you stop me and start telling me about the nonsense, crazy stuff that has gone on in your life that day, I might cry.
I will say, when people ask me, how are you? I'll give them real answers. I'll be like, hey, how are you? I'll be like, today sucks. I'll be like,
yeah, what? I like it. That's what I want to hear though. Cause that's the thing is, if you're asking that question, I me specifically genuinely want to hear the answer. If I don't ask you, then you understand that I don't care that day or I don't have time to deal with your answer. And I'm going to just say, hey, it's nice to see you and move along.
We've only been recording for a little bit. We're talking for an hour. You haven't asked me how I've been doing, but that's fine. Jessi, that's fine.
Read the room, John. Read the room.
All right. So you mentioned your pets. So what kind of pets do you have? I
have 2 dogs. I have, they're both adopted, so I'm not 100% sure what they are. The oldest one, his name is Toby. He is a little white, fluffy, he's a Lhasa Apso because he looks just like a Lhasa Apso. And then Millie is a little white, fluffy something. She looks like kind of like a Shih Tzu, Havanese mix. She's diabetic. So she gets 2 shots a day, and she had eye surgery. So she gets eye drops and she gets allergy pills, and she was our prize. We adopted, and she costs as much as a child. So.
Well, if Toby and Millie could talk, what do you think they'd say about you?
I'm awesome. No, that I'm, what would they say? I don't honestly don't know. I just said this to my husband last night because Millie likes to fight. She likes to play and like fight. I was, this is gonna make me sound bad. I was in the kitchen beating my husband up, like joking. Like
You cut out domestic violence? Can I get a ruling on that from YouTube?
he had said something and I was like, what? And he said it again. I said, say it again. I'm coming over there. And he said it again. So I went into the kitchen and I was like play fighting and like I had grabbed, you know, I was trying to put him in chokehold. It's normal stuff in our household. And Millie came running over and she was like barking and jumping. And she like, of course, was mad at him because he was the aggressor. And I said to my husband, I said, do you think she thinks we're playing, or do you think she's like legitimately concerned that we're arguing? And he's like, you never know with her. Like, just never know.
Does she only do it to like protect you, or does she do it to flip the reverse? Like if you just came out of nowhere and started attacking him, would she also jump in?
I think so. Yeah, because I was attacking him and she jumped in towards him. I don't know if and that's what I said to him. I said, I wonder what would actually happen if like somebody actually attacked one of us. Like, I don't know if she would jump in. I don't know what that would look like. I hope we never find out.
But do you think she was jumping in to defend him or to jump in with you as like the girl gang to jump? No. She was like, oh, we're rolling. Here it is.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, it's go time. She had my back. Totally. She was like, oh yeah. That's how we get down, Dad. So yeah. All day long.
All right. Let's go with, how do you waste time most often? So
Animal Crossing.
Animal Crossing.
Legit.
I've never played it. I've never played Animal Crossing.
It's so mindless. Like you don't have to do, like you just tend to your island and you can plant. I'm like right now I'm currently planting flowers. Emily helped me out and gave me some hybrid flowers that I'm now breeding and like making more of. Me, Emily, Nicole, and Andrew all have Animal Crossing and we all talk to we actually have our own chat.
Look, the betrayal,
we actually have our own chat for Animal Crossing, which Andrew lovingly named Animal Crossing. And so we we'll tell each other when shooting star night is happening. I am 41 years old. It sounds so ridiculous coming out of my mouth, but I love it. It's fine. That's what I do to waste time.
I'm going to tell you right now, if you make fun of anything sci-fi related or any sort of nerd, anything again, I am bringing up Animal Crossing. Oh, it's shooting star night.
So we actually had, what's funny is we actually had somebody comment on, where was he I think it was Facebook that he was commenting about how I was probably the cheerleader preppy, in high school. I made fun of all, I bullied all of the nerds, and I played World of Warcraft. I was an absolute nerd to the core. I just never got into sci-fi per se, but I did other nerdy stuff.
No, I don't buy it.
Yeah, well, that's fine. Bring yourself to Rainbow Six Siege and let's see how it goes.
Listen, I had to stop playing those shooters because I got tired of being worked by 12-year-olds.
All day long. And then they talk about your mom. It's like, hey, my mom's a nice lady. Please don't.
That actually cracked me up. I would welcome all of the trash. I was like, first of all, some of the lines you got are hilarious and I'm going to use them on my buddies later. So I don't care about that. And my mom, listen, she said worse than most of what they're going to tell me. So I'm not worried about that either. I just got tired of you die every 5 seconds. I was like, well, this isn't really fun.
No, and it's even worse being, here we go, don't want to pull my female card, but it's even worse being a female a girl gamer, because every single time they hear your voice on the chat, go make me a sandwich, bitch. Your voice isn't even low enough for you to talk to me like that, sir. Wait till you hit puberty and then we can have a discussion. But how about you don't insult me because I don't have the same parts as you.
Yeah, your preteen misogyny, you got to work on. But you just go make me a sandwich. It's not even a good line.
No.
Again, When they got some of the zingers, listen, I welcome it. It's hilarious. All right, so let's say shockingly, someone decides to make the Jessi story. I don't know why. I don't know what is going to be a part of it. It's going to be a long coloring scenes. They're starting night scenes. But let's say they're making it anyways, because people like to piss away money. Who is playing Jessi in that biopic? There are no rules. Pick whoever you want. You can go male if you want to. You can go any race, anything, whoever you want.
Claudia
Christian? It's a bold move, man. It's a bold move.
It is a bold move. Yeah, no, I like it. I would totally, after talking to her in our interview, I would totally choose her. She's dope. And I totally think she could do it.
Well, I am going to try to suggest that we get her back for an interview, and it's going to be the first thing I ask her about. If she will read my Jessi spec script, and if she's interested in playing Jessi, the Jessi story, One Starry Night. All right, so let's see. Okay, so since you liked her so much, maybe this is your answer, but we'll see. If you could switch places with anyone, living, dead, anyone, for one day, who would it be?
Oh, that's a good question. I feel like you sent me these earlier and I don't remember reading that one. Oh, goodness. Who would I switch spots with?
I don't want to fill any, I don't want to put anything in your head, but I'll just give you an idea. People have chosen musicians. People have chosen famous historical figures. Kevin also suggested he might be a grunt in the Revolutionary War, which I immediately called him out for. I was like, you could pick anyone during the American Revolution. I was like, you'd be fucking Washington. And you're like, I don't know, I might be the Fife guy. Yeah, but anyways. But my point is, you can pick anyone. You get one day. Do you want to see something cool historically? Do you want to live through somebody's, like Bezos money? Do you want to go? I've heard quite a few good ones. So
yeah.
Or is your life so fucking awesome you don't want to be anyone else?
Yeah, I'm just so amazing. I'm good where I'm at. No, I think honestly, a real answer, not trying to be creative and spicy. I think I would change places with my grandmother, who passed a couple of years ago. I would back in her prime, when she did some really cool stuff with mental health treatment. She started a program for the severely mentally ill, and it would just be, I think it would be cool to see just what a day in her life looked like.
With your grandpa, is it gonna get weird?
My grandpa died when my dad was 12. So would you like to discuss that?
Listen, I'm an award-winning journalist conducting an interview, Jessica. Okay, I will go where the subject leads me. And if it's
my grandmother spent most of her life widowed, as a widow. Yes, that's the right word. My grandpa died when my dad was 12. He died of a brain tumor. So my dad grew up without a dad, and my grandma grew up without a husband. So just the character building, not that I suggest losing your husband as a character building piece, but just the process that she went through with him passing. She lost some of her shit for a while, and got some mental health treatment, and then turned it around and ended up making a whole program out of it. So I think it would be cool to see what a day in that life looked like.
It's a good answer. Especially
or Tupac, whichever, you take your pick.
Bro, okay, you had that one just in the holster, just ready to go, thug life, and you had this sweet story about your grandma, and you're like, or fucking Tupac, I don't know, either way. Yeah, see, I go where the subject goes. So,
A to Z, I got it. What do you need?
Tupac is California Love. What's your go-to karaoke song?
Oh, Crazy by Gnarls Barkley.
Okay, I don't know why when you said Crazy, and maybe it said something about our friendship. I thought you were gonna say Crazy Bitch by Buckcherry. I was like, I cannot believe.
Oh, that's not a bad one, but okay. No, so
stop. Did you just say that's not a bad one?
No, it's not a bad one. It's fine. It's the Africa song, the rains down in Africa.
Stop. Do not compare Buckcherry to fucking Toto, okay? One of them Toto is awesome, and Buckcherry is. I'm not even going to dignify that with a response. I cannot believe you almost ended our friendship over this fucking comparison.
It's just a song I wouldn't sing. Listen, first of all, I heard Emily say that she doesn't karaoke. I also don't karaoke. I do everybody a favor. I know you don't go. I heard you say I don't go to karaoke to see people like put on American Idol type shows. But listen, we all are more sound mind when I'm not singing. So like when I'm in the car, I'll do it. Turn it all the way up, scream at the top of my lungs. Nobody is bothered. I don't karaoke.
But don't you feel really good? Don't you, like when your song comes on and you are jammed? What's better than like not a hot summer day, but like that perfect, it's been really warm summer day. Now it's starting to hit the sunset, so it's cooled down just a little bit.
Yeah.
Cools it down, driving down the road, you're jamming on. Boom. It's time for the show, ladies and gents. Doesn't that just make you feel good?
It does, but it makes me feel good. It does not make everybody around me feel good. So I keep it to myself.
Who cares? Listen, am I worried about some random butthole at some dive bar I'm singing karaoke at? No, baby. Enjoy the show. Sit back. You're welcome. Here's a free ticket.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Yeah. I'll pass around the tip jar while I'm singing. Go ahead. Hit it around. Give me some money.
No, sir. Well, I'll watch. You sing, I'll watch.
Yeah. Well, listen, when Grey 17, when the crew gets together, just know that we're going to karaoke. Even if we're not in a karaoke place, I'll just turn on some music and it'll just be, there's not a wrong time. I don't know if I've stressed enough. There's not a wrong time to karaoke. I love it. It's one of my favorite things. Yeah, not just me singing, watching people sing. I love it.
Adding another thing on my list of things that you and I do not agree on.
Fantastic. It's fantastic. All right. Well, let's go back to Grey 17. Tell me your favorite memory of Grey 17 so far. We're about 8 at this point. I think we're 9 months in.
My favorite moment is Signs and Portents, because I went. Those first episodes were rough. There's people that are like, oh, I just love this show so much and it's everything I've ever dreamed of. And then there was me that was like, how many more years of this do I have? I have to what? But Signs and Portents was like, I think when Scott asked me about my first impression, I was like, welcome to motherfucking Babylon 5, bitches. Like, it was like this just
it was
cool moment. It was cool to watch. It was just like, oh, this is what everybody else is seeing. And is, from that moment, it just got better and better. And that I started to like Ivanova, and I don't like to say that out loud, but I just started to just really thoroughly enjoy the show and like appreciate the show for what it was.
So I love that answer, mainly because I thought for sure you were going to say either both interviews or the Claudia interview, like one of the interviews. So the fact that your favorite memory was actually watching one of the episodes.
Yeah.
Is awesome.
I don't know though. Interviewing Peter was like, okay, you're probably right. Like that. I think that was like, Claudia was amazing. Let's start there. And I'm not saying one was more amazing than the other, but I feel like I had more of a connection with Peter, and like
well, we're Facebook friends now. We're basically best friends.
Yeah, we're like basically best friends. But he's just such a genuinely good person. And he was so genuine. Like, you ask him the questions and he's like, oh, I don't think that I made much of a difference. And I'm like, sir, I feel like you could make one hell of an argument to say that you absolutely made a huge difference. John cries because of you, sir. So like, that's like, he's just, I don't know. He was just so fucking cool. Excuse my language, but he was amazing. And that definitely was top 3 moments of my entire life. So
I mean, the interviews are hard to top, but I do think about some of the conversations that we've had, the tangents. Like I think about some of the stuff that a lot of it that the listeners don't get to hear, just listeners that either we're actually talking about because we'll start recording beforehand or go off on a tangent, so we cut it, or all of the chat stuff like while we're recording and chatting about, and like some of the nonsense that gets said there.
I'm gonna get Scott a t-shirt that says, "This is an audio podcast, people." Like, because we're constantly typing things in the chat, and Scott's like, "Say that." I'm like, I didn't think it was a big deal.
No, my favorite thing to do is say funny shit while Kevin's talking, and so that
Everybody laughs.
he's talking, he's like, "What's going on?" And everyone's just busting their gut laughing. And he's like, "Oh, you got," and like reads it again. I love it. I love it. And this is such a shitty comparison, but it just came to me. It reminds me like Kevin's like Eeyore, and he's just giving his thing, and he's just talking, and everyone else in the 100-acre wood is just laughing their ass off. And he's like, like, because I think he automatically assumes we're talking about him. It's like, no, man, we're off on some craziness.
No, yeah.
But
Sorry, Kevin, I'm not listening to you. I'm talking shit to everybody else. Sorry.
We should be better hosts and friends and listen to what you're saying because we value you. But instead, we're talking some nonsense about.
Well, I didn't ask your opinion, so I don't feel the necessity. Just kidding.
I didn't ask how you're doing today, Kev. You know what I mean? All right. So then, in that same vein, what's the thing you're looking forward to the most with Grey 17? It can be. I mean, it doesn't have to be an episode, although it can be. Can be anything Grey 17 related.
I'm looking forward to the day that we get to the end and I can go back and binge watch the shit out of it and episode after episode after episode, because the problem is we can only watch one episode a week, which poor baby, like I feel like everybody watching us is like, oh, well, welcome to our life when we actually watched it the first time. But I just like, I'm a person, I will binge watch the entire series, not just the season. I will watch every, like, I'll knock a series out, a 4 or 5 season series out in a week and a half or 2. Like Stranger Things, I killed that whole series, and I think all 4 seasons, 5 seasons, 4 seasons. I don't think it took me a month.
Yeah, listen, I love Stranger Things, but this last season, which I think was season 4, every episode was like an hour and a half. Every episode was like
yeah,
because so I usually like go with that strategy where I'm like, I can't get enough, and like as soon as I turn it on, like, well, that's the next 10 hours of my life.
Mm-hmm.
But that one, man, I couldn't even do it. I had to, I'd watch like 1 or 2, and I was like, I need to take a break because we are
on vacation
4 hours and like, good God, like,
yeah.
Anyway,
we're watching True Blood again, and so my husband's not me. My husband will binge watch a show, like he was watching the Wu-Tang documentary. Yeah. He loves it. And so he's watching that. I think he's almost done. He just started watching a couple days ago. So he'll binge watch the shit out of a some kind of series that he likes. He's not really in True Blood that much, and he's like, "What is with that dog? What do you mean she can hear people's thoughts?"
There's enough nudity to get him through. It's fine.
That's what I told him. I was like, the very first episode has like 4 or 5 different scenes. Like, this is the whole series. Just stick in there. But I know that when we get to like the fairies and like all this, he's gonna be out. He's just not. So it's taking us longer. I would like it to go quicker, but he only lets me watch 1 episode a day. So I'm like, this isn't going to work for me. There's like 9 seasons of this stuff.
You guys, do you take turns? Do you share shows? If you both watch a show, do you get mad if he watches ahead of you? Like, what's the show?
You do not watch ahead without me. Like, even the thought of it makes me want to punch him. No, you don't. That's a no. I think he made that mistake one time early on in our relationship, and we almost didn't make it here. So no, we watch it together. Like I watch, are you gonna ask me about my guilty pleasure? I can't remember if that was a question or not.
I am now.
Here's my guilty pleasure. It's Bachelor. Okay.
The Bachelorette, or both?
Both, either one. Bachelor in Paradise, or whatever that one, anything to do with The Bachelor, I am down. I am down to clown every time. And so my old roommate got me into it. I was like, this is stupid. And then I started watching it. I was like, oh no, I've got to watch every season of ever. And then he wouldn't admit this, but there was nothing that interested him until I started watching it. And now he's like, do you want to watch The Bachelor? So we watch it together. And then when I fall asleep on the couch, he watches whatever he wants. Like he'll watch the rest of his series that he started without me.
I will say, so I said this, was it Emily's interview? I've said it before. So I do enjoy, maybe it was Nicole's. I do enjoy trash TV. So one of my favorites was the very first season of Love is Blind. Like I
love that
trash TV, but I really only like it watching it with someone. So like my ex watch it all the time, which is, it just makes it so much better because, well, one, anything's better when you have someone to talk to about it, especially in the moment. Those shows are great with a significant other because the nice thing is whether you are doing it consciously or subconsciously, all you're doing is just judging the shit out of everything. You're like, look at these assholes. And I realize they're like, oh, by the way, I met you because I swiped right on some stupid apps. Like, yeah, I guess we're better than them. But
yeah, that's not us. We're not those people. Yeah, no, it's we watch we watch Bachelor, we watch like Big Brother. I love Big Brother. I got him into Big Brother last season, and it's just I don't know, anything that can just take my mind off the day for like just a solid straight hour or two of just absolute garbage, I'm down for.
It's nice. It's nice. Okay, so listen, I would keep talking. We could talk for hours. And, listen, if you want to leave a comment below, if you want to just have Jessi and I just have a show where we just shoot the shit.
Life lessons with Jessi and don't listen to John.
I got time. You know what I'm saying? I got time. It's just me and the dog. But in the interest of keeping this relatively close to the others, we end this with 2 truths and a lie. Again, not necessarily in that order. So I will let everyone else know if this is your first time watching or if you've heard this before and you're tired of it, I'm sorry, but Jessi's going to give us 2 truths and a lie, and you are going to put your guess of what her lie is in the comments below. So Jessica, whenever you're ready, and again, not in this order, give me 2 truths and 1 lie.
Okay. I feel like you warned me about this and I
literally, so while you're thinking, so I try not to surprise our guests. I like to give them a heads up. I don't give it too much in advance. At this point, we're like 7 episodes in, so you think they would know what's coming, but I send them the list of questions. I make it a point to specifically say, we end with 2 truths and a lie. It's what everyone stumbles with because apparently my friends are not good liars, which is both good and sad at the same time. Having said that, I did send Jessica these questions. I did specifically say, all you have to do is think of 2 truths and a lie. Stop listening to me. Keep thinking about your 2 truths and a lie, by the way. I'm talking to our viewers now.
Okay. Go ahead. I'm listening. I'm not listening. Go ahead.
Do you have it? I'm killing time until you're ready.
I got some stuff.
All right, here we go. 2 truths.
Okay. Why? Okay. I'm so unoriginal with this. I am the oldest of 3 girls.
Okay.
I have 3 post-high school degrees.
Okay.
And I'm a snake milker. I can't even lie.
I'm not even going to edit that. All that's going in. First of all, I cannot believe you went with 2 3s and then for the third one, didn't have a 3 in there. I'm the oldest of 3 girls. I have 3 post-high school degrees. I'm a snake milker. You didn't have a 3rd for the 3. Unbelievable, Jessica. Okay,
hold on. Let me think. You need to edit this.
I'm not editing it. I'm telling you right now. So go ahead and put in the comments below what you think Jessi's lie is. And the winner will receive a gift.
I'm definitely a snake milker. Leave me alone. I go to the snake house every single day.
You're not helping. It's not getting better.
And I make $15.50 an hour to.
Why is it so specific? Why'd you pick $15.15?
What?
No, where did the 15 fucking cents come in? Like everyone's gonna be like, oh, give us $15 an hour. You could have just said 15. Where did the other 15 come in?
Let me show my age. Ready for this? Do you know what? When I started working at 15 years old.
Back when you were
1856?
Like where you're working on the Oregon Trail? All right. Give me what you get.
Are you done?
Yeah, all right.
Not yet. Okay. Do you know what my minimum wage was? Do you know what I made? Take a guess. Take a guess.
5:15.
5:15. It was 5:15. Yes, because you're old as shit too, mother effer.
I may or may not have also worked minimum wage jobs. Had to remember what it was like.
So where did you get the 15 cents from? You know exactly where, God damn it. So don't be mean to me.
But I'm not constantly thinking, oh, remember when I made 5:15 back in 19 what was that, 2000 or 99? I don't know. You're older than I am. What do you got?
I started working in 96. I think I was 15.
But
I worked at an inline roller hockey rink.
that's awesome. My first job was worked at McDonald's.
Yeah. I played roller hockey too.
Oh, well, look at that.
So now you know where it came from, but I'm a cheerleader nerd, or a cheerleader who bullies nerds. So move on.
That one
Moving on.
Okay, well, again, leave your comment below what you think Jessi's lie is.
I spend most of my time at the reptile house. Leave me alone.
So we actually end this with, I give you the mic. Anything you want to say, anything, last thoughts, and it's your show.
It is my show. Thank you for saying so. I just want to thank everybody. I want to thank everybody out there for just hanging in with us. We are a crazy, crazy bunch of people who come from all different places in life, and it's awesome to see such a supportive group of people support our vision, our dream, our effort, all of that. So I want to thank everybody out there who continues to be supportive and nice and not say mean things about me, because I have very fragile feelings.
Can you believe they got over the Ivanova thing?
I know, right? Should we start it again and see how it goes?
Yeah, I think it's people's favorite thing about Grey 17. I think the people really want us to bring Ivanova back. I think they enjoyed it.
Well, didn't they bring Ivanova? What was it, 2 episodes ago that we watched? Didn't they bring Ivanova back? Like, yeah. So okay, let me go on welcome to my TED Talk. I would like you all to sit in attendance. The fact that people got so upset that we said Ivanova, but I literally just watched a whole episode where somebody called her Ivanova. That's rude. Be nice to us.
Yeah. So I will say this. It was clearly a joke. I ascribe to the comedy theory that something is funny, 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 not funny, not funny, not funny, funny again, funny again.
We're back. Yeah. I think we've come full circle to the funny again part. So
apparently not everyone agreed. So but surprisingly, not only have people stayed, we've grown far more listeners. So I will echo Jessi's sentiment. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for listening to this. This has been fun. I hope it's everything you wanted and more. Both the people watching, and don't roll your eyes. Listen, you had a great time here. This was probably the best thing you've done all day. Like, come on.
Yeah, you're probably right. But I just want to send one more little side note that people may not know. This mother effer didn't tell me it was video until literally after we started. So you're all welcome for this whole wonderfulness. If I had known, and maybe I'd have put some I don't know, makeup on, or done my hair.
If only this was the first. Oh no, this isn't the first one. Again, this is episode fucking 7.
Okay.
I think my friend would have watched maybe any of the other episodes previously. This getting to know Grey 17 is not just for the fans.
I listened to the Spotify episodes that are on Spotify. I didn't know that they were video. Nobody told me. Nobody keeps me in the loop. I just show up once a week, watch an episode.
Everyone has told her. We have mentioned in our group chats many times. We have shared stories, comments, clips many times. Jessica has what we like to call selective fucking hearing. And if it's not literally about Jessica, I don't give a shit.
That's not true.
So unless we go, hey, Jessi, here's some shit about you. She was like, wait, what?
I do. Absolutely not. I even listen to the episodes that I'm not on. Don't be rude. I 100% am engaged and love this podcast and everybody in it. So be nice.
All right. Well, with that, another amazing episode of Getting to Know Grey 17, a video podcast here on the Grey 17 Network. I have been John, and with me has been
Jessi.
Thank you so much for watching.
Bye.